Live from the Western Mass News Studios in Springfield, this is Better Western Mass.
Well, the worst of that latest winter blast is behind us. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Better Western Mass on this Tuesday afternoon. I'm Taylor Jacobs. A whole lot to get to in this half hour. Really busy show for you, but we're going to start off with another check of that forecast. We got team coverage here for you. Continuing on like it was, guys, what was it, 8 hours ago at 4:30 when we first got out here? We got Lena Jakowski and Dan Brown, both meteorologists who know their stuff. We're starting off with you, Dan Brown.
All right, yes, Taylor, guiding you through the storm system, so to speak, right? But I got to tell you, for the most part here in Western Mass, we got off fairly easy. Could have been a lot worse when you're talking about ice, of course, and now, in fact, we've dried out. Temperatures have come up. We're safely above freezing. We're at 35 as we're taking a live look from our MGM Skycam. You can still see we have plenty of clouds out there, but at least conditions are improving. Visible satellite shows mainly cloudy skies. We may see a few breaks of sun this afternoon, but clouds will prevail. However, just as equally importantly, right now, temperatures are in the 30s to near 40 in Palmer and Belchertown. So any icy concerns, the driveways, the sidewalks that were ice-filled now, of course, that is melting away. And even across our hill towns, temperatures from Worthington and Charlemont are in the mid-30s. And we're going to tack on maybe 4 or 5 degrees. That's going to put just about everybody up about 40 degrees. Here's our future cast as we go through the afternoon. Mostly cloudy at 3. Few sunny breaks 5 o'clock or so, right around sunset. Notice a little blue here. This is maybe a snow shower for Berkshires and the hill towns, but there's not much to it. I mean, this is just the leading edge of colder air that's going to pour in here tonight, and will be with us tomorrow. So skies clear out tonight. Plenty of sun tomorrow, but high temperatures will be in the 20s to near 30 degrees. Overnight tonight, we're going to be down into the teens later on, so that cold air is making its way back into Western Mass. For tomorrow, a high of about 28, around 30 degrees, and then it's late Thursday night, and into Friday morning that we could be talking about a plowable snow event here, perhaps several inches. But let's check outside one more time with meteorologist Lena Jakowski. Lena, nice job, by the way. Been out there all morning, and finally, this is your last hit.
You got that right, Dan. And you know what? I'll stand outside in the snow any day over the rain. You see, I've kicked my umbrella to the curb. That little bit of drizzle we had a half hour ago at this point has ceased. So the air is dry. The roadways, of course, are still a little bit wet. But as you mentioned, temperatures have risen into the mid to upper 30s, and we're even nearing 40 in some locations. So those concerns at this point have come and gone. In fact, even the ice that was on the trees and the power limbs, temperatures went up. That melted. Gravity brought it down. And we're not seeing that anymore either. So for those who are still waiting for their power to be restored, certainly an issue. But we're not anticipating any further power outages as we go forward. It's just going to be a relatively pleasant afternoon, as you mentioned, perhaps hopefully some clearing, and I do hope that Mother Nature will be nice to us and give us a little bit of sunshine after what we've been dealing with recently. Taylor, back over to you.
All right, especially since it's your Friday, Lena, so go enjoy that weekend, all right? Great stuff, as Dan was saying. Well, Western Mass News, we are your vaccine authority, and we're taking more of your vaccine-related questions to the experts this afternoon. We have Dr. John O'Reilly joining us, the Chief of Pediatrics of Bay State Health. Hey there, Dr. O'Reilly. I believe we just have 2 for you today. So the first one to throw your way goes like this. What happens to unused doses of the vaccine at state-run sites and hospitals? Are they thrown out or at least given to people who don't have appointments?
Taylor, we know that the vaccine is like liquid gold, and we don't want to waste a drop of it. But we've created this busy, complicated system to really match doses to recipients. And as today's weather proves, sometime in New England, things happen, right? The best laid plans of mice and men go awry. And, there's an ice storm and people can't get rides. And suddenly there's a mismatch. There's more doses than people. If it's early in the day, we try to get tomorrow 75 and older to come in early to get those doses. As it gets to later in the day, we then are really judging who's in line and when do we open that vial. Because if we can keep that vial in the fridge, we have 5 days to use it. If we pop the top and put a needle in it, we have 6 hours to use it. So we do a lot of close counting towards the end. But if we get to a point where we have 3 people and we have to open a 5-dose vial, 6-dose vial, we're going to have to use that. So a lot of sites like Fenway and even Bay State initially were saying the folks that are working the site are frontline workers. They're seeing hundreds and thousands of people during their work. So we're going to give them and we're going to protect them. Local health departments have it a little different. They know their communities, so they're going to have a list. And they'll know that, Jimmy Jones across the street is only 73, but he has heart disease and lung disease. And boy, we're going to get them next week. Let's go ahead and have them walk over. So different places have a little bit. We don't want to waste it. And as a state, we're doing a good job, only 0.13% wasted. So we're trying to make this complicated thing work in whatever way we can.
Yeah, and even the CDC just upped our COVID vaccinations per 100,000. So we've improved from where we were a few weeks ago. So how about this one for you? Let's say you don't have a state-issued ID. Will an original birth certificate do when booking an appointment for your vaccine? We got like a minute and a half left or so.
Okay, so I would say our state is doing a great job not putting barriers there. There's no poll tax, there's no quiz. You don't need a license or a social security card. You don't even need a health card. Basically, the DPH on their website talk about 3 examples. One is employer things, like I can bring my employee ID that has my name and title. I can bring a government issued thing like a birth certificate, which is issued by the city, or I can even bring a recent pay stub. So any of those things will qualify you. When you get to the site, they may be asking you for some ID just to say you are the person that signed up. A little different at some of the local sites from the senior centers or health department because they want to know we serve our community. So they may want something with your local address. So we're not putting a lot of barriers. Everybody needs to be vaccinated, and we're not going to ask for specific papers as long as you can prove, you qualify for the vaccine.
Yeah, you are Dr. John O'Reilly. Just prove it to me, and then you're good to go.
Right here, man.
Yeah, and
right.
the Skype name says it as well. So I'd say you're checking all the boxes here. Dr. O'Reilly, really do appreciate your insight here. Like I said, we only have 2 questions for you, so you are free to go. Hopefully you don't have too much shoveling or ice digging to do. So good luck and all that. All right.
I take care of the salt. That's my job.
There you go. Salt man. Take care. All right. And remember, everybody, Western Mass News, we want to bring your vaccine questions to the experts like Dr. O'Reilly. You just heard him. He knows his stuff. So if you have something you want to ask him, just send us an email, vax@westernmassnews.com, and you could see your question asked on the air. All right, coming up on Better Western Mass, everyone, an important message for all of you pet owners out there, why you may want to pay more attention to your furry friend's mouth. And it is tax filing season. We've got a few things to consider before you submit for that refund. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. This is the first full week of tax season, and there are a few changes this year you should know about. The IRS says it's working to make sure that you get your refund and any remaining stimulus payments quickly. Mandy Gaither has 3 things you should know before you file.
How will the pandemic impact your taxes? For taxpayers hoping for deductions, credits, and COVID-19 relief on their 2020 contributions, experts say file early.
Last year was a big year and, they're just trying to gather all their documents. So I always say if you do have a business, make sure that from the beginning you're working with a professional.
If you didn't already receive COVID relief payments from the federal government, filing your taxes will be the best way to get that money if you're eligible. The IRS expects more than 150 million returns will be filed this year and recommends you file electronically. Experts also say it's important to know when to seek professional help.
I do believe that TurboTax or those other providers will suffice, and they are very easy and very cost effective. But as soon as you have a business, rental properties, seek professional advice.
Here's a look at 3 tax breaks you may be eligible for the first time due to COVID. 1, Congress has made changes to tax benefits like the Earned Income Tax Credit, and they've created new ones to give people and small business owners some pandemic relief. 2, small business owners who received a tax-free forgiven PPP loan may still deduct the business expenses they paid for with their money. And 3, if you're self-employed, you may be eligible to claim a new sick leave and family leave tax credit that was created by the family's first Coronavirus Response Act. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Better Pet Connections time, and it is a no-brainer that taking care of your teeth is important, but you may be surprised to know that dental hygiene is also critical for the health of your pets. In honor of Pet Dental Health Month this February, our partners over at Daily Paws are sharing tips on how to keep those canines and feline smiles in tip-top shape.
Certainly, as humans, we do go to our dentist to make sure we get those great teeth cleanings or have cavities filled. But we tend to forget that our pets need that same dental attention as well. Dental hygiene is a critical component for pets of all ages, but especially as they age. Pets that have issues with dental disease and be more prone to actually more varying diseases later on in their lives that are a little bit more dangerous and can even be fatal. Being aware of when your pet might be experiencing pain in the mouth is something that we should really stay on top of, because when we don't consider those things, we kind of open ourselves up to issues with our pets later on. For instance, a dog that might have a broken tooth or might be experiencing tooth decay may show signs that they're uncomfortable that we just don't pick up on because we're not recognizing that the issue is stemming from the mouth. Our pets aren't good at telling when they are experiencing pain or discomfort, and so we really have to take it upon ourselves to kind of consider these things. So being on top of your pet's dental hygiene is, again, a great preventative, and you can take some steps to make sure that your cat's mouth or your dog's mouth is always healthy just by doing regular dental exams and checking their mouth. You know, if you're seeing blood or anything on toys, or they're not wanting to eat as much as they were before, or you've noticed that things that they like to play with before are no longer as interesting, it might be helpful or beneficial to your pet to go ahead and check that mouth. And if you're not comfortable doing that, making sure that you make an appointment with your veterinarian so they can be sure to assess dental health.
All right, we have one more tip for you for the pet parents out there. Beware of really stinky breath. It could be a sign that your cat or dog is dealing with some type of dental disease. You can find more of these tips over at dailypaws.com. Daily Paws is owned by the parent company of this news station you're watching right now, the Meredith Corporation. Coming up on Better Western Mass, folks, we're talking pixie cuts, the popular hairstyle making a comeback, and we're also taking a trip over to the museum, telling you about a place you can take your kids during their week off from school. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, folks. So it is school vacation week for many kids here in Western Mass, and with the frigid temperatures in the midst of this pandemic, many parents are just looking for any safe place to go. Our Western Mass News reporter Stacey Circa soon found one in Holyoke.
Kids haven't been here in over a year now, so they were dying to get out.
For most schools across the Bay State, February break kicked off Monday, and Western Mass News found the Holyoke Children's Museum to be a popular choice for parents and children. But in the pandemic, different safety protocols are in place.
The thing we had to do was timed admissions. And that meant that anyone that wants to come to the museum needs to make a reservation, and they have to do it online. And we only have a certain amount of slots available for the morning and the afternoon.
The museum's capacity was cut down from 300 to 60, and COVID-19 restrictions have put a stop to one of their biggest draws.
We cannot have birthday parties.
Also suspended for now, the sale and consumption of food and drinks.
Don't bring coffee.
Typically, the month of February is also the height of flu season. But this year, the threat of coronavirus means cleaning procedures are much more rigorous.
13 hand sanitizing stations. We have a whole new cleaning system where the chemicals come pre-mixed, and all we do is fill up our bottles.
The kids even have a job of their own. And when you're done playing, you take the items that you scanned and throw them right into the bucket so they can be cleaned. Each bucket of toys is taken to a decontamination room in between each visit. And thankfully, kids don't really mind the masks.
Good. We do it all the time at school, and it's like a really long time, so we don't really matter much. We didn't like it at first, but we've gotten used to it, so it's basically no problem for us now.
And since it's gotten colder, many parents are relieved that museums are back up and running.
Great outlet for the kids to kind of come out and blow some steam off. We walked around Ashley Reservoir before this, stopped and had lunch, and then came down here, so it kind of felt like a normal day. It was great.
In Holyoke, Stacey Sergasoon for Western Mass News.
Longing for those normal days. Well, it's a hairstyle a lot of women wonder if they can even pull off a pixie cut. Heard of it? Our own Jordan Jaglenzer is showing us why you should take the leap and give it a try next time you're at the salon.
The short pixie cut was made popular back in the 50s, and at Gasoline Alley in Springfield, the hairstyle is one clients still love.
She started more of a mid-length bob with an undercut, and then we've just kind of been going a little bit shorter and shorter.
Michelle Chabelli, owner of Gasoline Alley in Springfield, says that she doesn't want people to think that just because your hair is short, you're locked into one style.
The pixie is such a great, versatile haircut for all different hair textures and face shapes.
How daring you want to go with the haircut is totally up to you.
But it's not just the cut that's bold. Michelle says that it's important how you color the pixie cut.
A great haircut is supported by great color.
You can see all the different dimensions, highlights, and lowlights in the model's color. Michelle says while the cut can be low maintenance, it's also for people willing to spend some time on their hair.
You do really have to sort of address it on a daily basis, but that doesn't necessarily mean you need to spend 20 minutes on it.
And if you're looking for a change and want to take the dive, Michelle says do it.
We've taken hair all the way here to the short, and people feel new and fresh and totally confident.
Start with a consultation with your hairstylist. For Better Western Mass, I'm Jordan Jagalinzer.
Yeah, Jordan gets in about 3:30 or so. You can check to see if she got the pixie cut yourself. Coming up on Better Western Mass, a $2,000 tip left for the staff at one restaurant. Details behind the generous donation, plus a preview of tonight's episode of People TV. Don't miss it. Welcome back. So let's talk about some entertainment news with a look at what's coming up on tonight's brand new episode of People TV.
Tonight, only on People, Gretchen Carlson sits down with Kim Ng, the general manager of Major League Baseball's Miami Marlins, the first woman ever to hold that title in any big-time sports league.
What does it feel like to be the first GM manager, as a woman?
It's extraordinarily exciting, thrilling. When my family calls, it's been a lot of fun just to hear their excitement.
How her dad's love of the game inspired her.
He was always out there watching or playing sports, and that's really how I developed the love for it. I just wanted to spend time with him. We played softball, tennis, we skated, we skied, played stickball. And really from there, as a child, it just grew. I started playing in leagues when I was about 12 years old and just kept going with it. I was on the softball and tennis teams in high school and played collegiate softball. So we came from a big sports family.
Just incredible. Kim's groundbreaking journey tonight on People.
Oh, yeah, and women in all sorts of spots in sports now. Coming up on Better Western Mass, details on a winter weather challenge that's taking social media by storm. Whoa. And sending you off to break with a look at your local steals and deals.
I want you to see this because it is my favorite thing. Okay, so recently I was looking for machine washable carpets in my house because I like things to be clean, and that's not easy, right? I couldn't really find anything, and then guess who we started partnering with on Local Steals and Deals? My Magic Carpet. This is made to go in the washing machine. It's made for that. It has a special backing. Wait till you hear about it. Beautiful patterns, 3 different sizes. This one was on the floor in my kitchen in front of my sink. Now I have them everywhere. They are beautiful in your home, and they are such a great peace of mind. Please say hello to my new best friend who made this all possible, Mike.
We wanted a rug where it had some type of layer between the top fabric and the bottom so that if there was a spill or an accident, it wouldn't seep through to the hard surface flooring. And so anyway, they came up with this waterproof barrier. So the features of the rug is that it's stain resistant, it's non-slip, it's got a waterproof barrier, and so it's kid-friendly and pet-friendly, and just a great solution for every household.
Thank you so much, Mike. I love this concept, and I know you will too. I also love the fact that right now on localsteals.com, you can get these at 20 to 25% off. Beautiful styles, 3 different sizes, and machine washable. You're gonna love it.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Better Western Mass. We got some good news for you on this rainy Tuesday. Bartender Eddie Cruz had to do a double take on Friday night when a couple left a $2,000 tip for the staff at Chicago's Club Lucky. Owner Jim Higgins says the couple also left a message explaining that they had their first date at Club Lucky 20 years ago and come back every February 12th to sit in the same booth and celebrate. He added that the couple will always have a February 12th standing reservation. I would hope so. My goodness, there, and a happy Valentine's Day to them. An anniversary for celebrating. Well, how about this? A Florida couple that got married in 1967, then divorced 2 years later, reunited in 2017. Well, they've now remarried on Valentine's Day. Gary and Marilyn Sigler were brought back together by granddaughter Jasmine Martinez. Now, Gary says he had to make several phone call attempts before Marilyn would even speak with him, but they fell back in love, and it was Marilyn who actually proposed to Gary. They wed in a small Valentine's Day ceremony, and Marianne calls it an absolute blessing. That's incredible stuff there. Life finds a way, and so does love. All right, we'll leave to social media to turn extreme winter weather into a new challenge. This one is called the Frozen Pants Challenge, where you soak your pants in water, leave them out in the freezing cold, and sculpt them to stand on their own. This group was left out in the cold in Fargo, North Dakota, where wind chills dropped to 40 below. And yeah, they froze it, all right. Well, it may be frigid in the U.S., but monarch butterflies have returned to the areas of Mexico that are warm. Millions of monarchs migrating 2,000 miles from Canada across the U.S. into Mexico sanctuaries, and they hope and what this will do is actually determine the monarch population size this year, because they are, I believe, an endangered species off the top of my head. I know my mom has this little mesh thing that she keeps out on the porch when the springtime comes around, and she watches them hatch and hatch and hatch, and off they go. And she says, Taylor, I'm saving an entire species. And I say, good on you, mother. Good on you. All right, everybody, we're officially out of time. Good on you for tuning in to this edition of Better Western Mass. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.